I mean, as I argue in Death by Astonishment, I think that, I mean, John Mack himself, I mean, he shifted away from the the idea that people were being, well, that all abductees, so to speak, or experiencers, as he called them, he shifted away from the idea that this was purely a physical nuts and bolts phenomenon, as is Jacques Vallée. And we cannot assume, and that comes from his experiences reports, in that they were entering what seemed to be high dimensional worlds that subsumed our reality, and described experiences that wouldn't have looked out of place in a DMT trip report. I mean, one of his subjects, which I also quote in the book, described seeing these little playful, mirthful, playful beings that bounded around. I mean, this could have been a Terence McKenna quote. So I think our conception of what an alien is changing and has changed. We used to think of them as being beings from another planet that are wet-brained, wet-bodied biological beings, and now that conception has rightfully expanded. And as I said, once an intelligence reaches the stage where it has transcended the physical form, perhaps, then you would expect that people who have experiences or communications with these kinds of intelligences, they wouldn't be physical experiences. Those aliens, if you want to call them that, as I said, be interacting directly with their neural machinery, and it would be what would be dismissed, of course, by most people as hallucinations, as Carl Sagan famously said that he thought that abductees, they were just hallucinating, and John Mack said, what the fuck does he know about hallucinations? Because John Mack did know a lot about hallucinations, and he knew what was a hallucination, what wasn't like a hallucination, and these weren't like hallucinations. So it suggests to me that yes, they were interacting with some kind of non-human intelligence, which Mack thought was the universe was crawling with these intelligences, or perhaps other universes beyond our universe, parallel to our universe, was filled with these intelligences, and that we've simply never had contact with them or lost contact with them, and that we're rediscovering that contact. And whether that contact is something that you have to kind of wait for, hope that you're selected for an abduction experience by one of these intelligences, or whether you can actually catalyze it using DMT. I think it's probably, if we could see it from a higher level, we'd see it actually all part of the same process. It's all part of the same process that's been going on for thousands of years, of humans interacting with normally unseen intelligences. You can call them spirits, you can call them gods, you can call them entities, you can call them non-human intelligences, you can call them aliens. It doesn't matter. We're talking about intelligences that humans have been interacting with for thousands of years. And the shamans, the indigenous peoples of Amazonia and elsewhere, developed technologies for establishing that connection and developing relationships with that intelligences. We've lost that in the West, and we are starting to rediscover it.